if you do this one thing when you're buying a property in the Dubai market, you're going to come across as an expert or a pseudo expert, okay? So if you're looking to buy a property in Dubai, this is one thing that you want to focus on. You want to pay a lot of attention at, because not only make you look like an expert, but it's also going to help you make a smart investment. So what is this one thing? Okay, everybody knows that pricing is super important. Well, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but pricing is one of the 6 pillars when you're buying in the Dubai real estate market, especially if you're buying off-plan property. So the price is right, or should be right, developer credibility, quality, infrastructure, rentability, resellability, and how quick the project is going to get delivered. Okay, I'm not going to talk about all these others because I don't want to confuse you. Let's just stick to price. Okay, what do I mean by price? The price that you pay today is going to determine the profit that you're going to exit with and the rental income that you're going to be making. So you've got to be a little bit smart around the pricing as a base to start looking at a project and say, look, this makes sense, it's good. The rest of the things can't be ignored because you can't buy at the best price but the poorest quality. You can't buy at the best price but the worst location. You can't buy at the best price but the worst developer. You can't buy at the best price but poor rentability and resellability. So they've all got to come together. But if you got price wrong, the other doesn't really that much matter because you're going to end up perhaps 90% out of 100 suffering on the property that you're invested in. How do you calculate price? Price isn't just the entire price you're paying for an apartment. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm paying 1 million, 2 million, 3 million dirhams for this particular apartment, that's one way of looking at it. But the real true measure is to look at the per square foot pricing or the per square meter pricing if you're coming from one of those countries. I think the European countries and even in the US, sometimes they look at per square meter pricing. So what you're looking to do is you're looking at the entire price, which some of us older agents, as in more experienced agents, say the ticket price, which is the total ticket price, but you're also looking at per square foot, per square meter pricing, okay? The ticket price is, hey, here's a 1-bedroom, it costs 1.5 million dirhams. What is the per square foot pricing is you take the total price, which is 1.5 million dirhams, divided by the size of the net size of the apartment. So let's say you're buying something at, let's say you're buying a 1-bedroom for 1.5 million dirhams and it's 1,000 square feet. 1,000 square feet, it's going to be 1,500 per square foot, okay? That 1,500 per square foot is your indicator. Okay, that's your indicator. It's kind of like understanding how much you're paying for per square foot of real estate that you're purchasing, or apartment that you're purchasing, or villa or townhouse that you're purchasing, because then you can take this per square foot and compare it to everything else, because it's a no-brainer, right? So if you look at a 1-bedroom apartment for 1.5 million dirhams, for example, and you're thinking, okay, this is 1.5 million dirhams in a residential area. And then you look at another apartment and you say, let's say in a prime location close to the total prime landmarks of Dubai, and you're looking at a 1-bedroom apartment that's 200 square feet smaller than this one, and it's 2.1 million dirhams. You're like, oh, wow, this apartment's amazing. But this isn't the only way to look at. The real true information comes when you start dividing the area. So as I said, this one's 1,500 per square foot. And the other one's 2.1 million. Divide by, let's say, 690 per square foot. So let's not say 600. I'd say 800 square feet smaller, right? So it's, let's say we divide by 800. Okay, so 800 square feet apartment. The per square foot price here was 1,500, and the per square foot price here is 2,695. This is the critical difference. You're paying 2,695 dirhams per square foot, because you're paying 1,500 dirhams per square foot. Now, the thing is, it's okay to pay 2,695 dirhams per square foot here, because the location might be more suitably landmarked, might be closer to a metro station, might be closer to touristic places, might be in a rather branded building, maybe some furniture. But when you look at 1,500 per square foot, it's 1,125, you're paying almost 900,000 dirhams more for an apartment, right? Now, if you're risk averse, or if you're a first time buyer in the Dubai market, and it's very important for you to start with your first foray into the market and make sure that might not be a home run, but it's gonna do very, very, very well, then you stick to the residential area at the 1,500 per square foot. The 1,500 per square foot is more palatable. It's easier when the markets shift for you to still rent it and sell it, okay? And your net rental income is not going to get super affected because you've not bought in at a very high price. Whereas if you go into the 2,000, 3,000 dirhams per square foot area, the moment the market's correct, the rent's correct, the effect that you're going to feel is going to be greater. It's kind of like people at the both ends, super ultra luxury or super average, feel the pinch fast. If you're in the middle residential area with the highest number of potential tenants, the highest numbers of potential buyers, your pinch is going to be very soft, but the upside is going to be much greater. So if you buy at 1,500 per square foot, it's much better. If you're a first-time buyer, if you're very risk-averse, that you buy in this area. And that's why I'm going to recommend one project that I've partnered with. Like, look, I've got 15 years plus experience in the market. I've seen it all, hundreds and hundreds of developers. So if I'm standing behind them as partners with them, okay, I know what I'm recommending, and they are super considerable. So you should really consider. I'm not going to say, yeah, you should just buy blindly, eyes closed. If you trust me, then you should. But in my personal opinion, this particular project, Luma Park Views, or any of the projects by TownX in this moment in time, in this current market situation, for a very astute, smart investor, makes a lot of sense. Okay, so in my personal opinion, you should really buy them because they're very close to delivery. They're only about a year and less to delivery. They produce very high quality apartments, and the Google reviews that they've produced with all the residents and the people who've bought from them for the last 6-7 years are absolutely fantastic. They're very, very good. So my recommendation, highly consider this one. There's a link somewhere below. Just reach out to me and I'll get all the details out to you and make you a smart homeowner in Dubai. Ciao for now.